Hey everyone, Egman here with another video, and today we're going to look at two deck lists that I've made to kind of go over the new Yellow Broly support that comes out of the Anniversary Box 2021 in a couple of weeks. It's not necessarily, Yellow Broly specifically, but I think he has like the most forward path for some of these cards. They're very generic, which I really like. I kind of do like having the option to kind of weigh which leader I like more and that kind of idea for these kind of cards. But it's kind of a yellow-green arrival and swap deck. There's only one swap, but it's mostly just arrival. And I think it's really cool. The cards I like more are the arrival cards themselves. So we got this Broly energy exhaust blocker swap for 8 for a green and a yellow. If you have 3 or more energy, green or yellow Broly BR with any cost of 8, so you can go into the big bad boy. I think it has to be specifically a green yellow, so you can't just go into a green one. Or you can also just arrival it for either just 1 green or 1 yellow, which is really nice, really flexible. And when this card is played, or when this card is switched to active mode by a skill during your turn, which is we can do with our leader, you're able to choose up to one of your opponent's battle cards and a cost of 4 or less and negate skills for the turn, and then active main or battle. Once per turn, switch card to rest mode, choose up to one of your opponent's skillless battle cards and KO it. So I like this guy a lot. Just especially for just 1 energy, being able to do all these things, being able to be a blocker is nice, being able to negate skills on something is nice, being able to be pop something too. Obviously, if they're swimming with something that's 4 or less and doesn't have, barrier, you can just play this and you can just rest it immediately and it pops it. So that's kind of cool, being able to still have a body out. It's only 19k. I think 20k would have been great, but 19k is a good sweet spot, I guess, for it to not be too OP. But in general, I just like everything that's going on with this guy. And then we have the big bad boy 8-drop full power Broly Impulsive Destroyer. So energy exhaust, double strike, and blocker. So an arrival for 1 green, 1 yellow, and 1 colorless. You can also just swap it for 2, which is I prefer that. Also, none of these cards have any limits or uniqueness to them, which is really nice. So you can just kind of swap into this guy, and then you can play him again for just for 1, which is great. And then also auto, when this card is played, you get to draw a card. When this card is played, or when this card is switched to active mode by a skill during your turn, choose up to one of your opponent's battle cards are unison cards. That's really important, by the way. I totally forgot that it does unison cards too, so don't forget to do that like I do. And negate skills for turn, and then just has active battle. Once per turn, choose up to one of your opponent's skillless battle cards and KO it. You don't have to switch to rest mode, which is nice, and also it's being able to make something skillless by itself is really cool. You don't have to it doesn't have the 4 or less that the 5-drop has. And we also have this new kind of unison to help it out. At first, I really liked this card, and but the more I played it, I don't really felt like it jived with the deck very much. It does have a really nice auto. Once per turn, when you play a battle card using a rival, green-yellow, add a marker to this card. It's only 1 to play, and then for 1, active main, choose it to look at the top 5 cards of your deck, add up to 1 green or yellow multicolor Frieza Army card among them to your hand. Shuffle your deck. If you add a card to your hand, choose 1 card in your hand, discard it. So that's kind of nice, being able to cycle through stuff, get stuff into your drop area. Like getting a multicolor card in your drop area for free is great, because then you can just start using the combo effect for it. And then it has a +0, which is this +0 active battle. If another card is in battle, use up to 1 green or yellow multicolor card from your drop area in a combo with the skills negated for the battle. So that's kind of nice, just an extra 10k for everything, and it just means you don't have to do anything for your rival things. I think the only thing that I don't like about this is that it's really, really hard to set it up early. So like turn 1 you have to play like a blocker, and then turn 2 you have to play this guy, and then like the fact that you have to go into the combo step to be able to use the effects to combo for free and then to be able to arrival is really hard to do. It's very hard to do on turn 2, which is kind of where we are in a meta. And I just think that like if you play it on turn 3, you kind of get some value, and then it sticks around and you're fine. But it's kind of a tricky spot to get this set up to where you really want it to be, and to play as efficient as you want to. It's a little bit specific on what you're doing and finding the cards you need. I definitely recommend trying this list out, though, but I think you guys might see what I mean when you look at it. It's just hard to get this to get value unless you have blockers out. You can set them up and everything, but once you are set up, you're doing really, really good. We also did get this new Skill Steel Chilai super combo. If your leader card is green, yellow, or heroine, when this card is used in a combo from your hand, choose 1. You can choose up to one of your opponent's leader cards or unison cards, switch to rest mode. That effect's really, really good. Or if it's your turn, choose up to one of your opponent's skillless battle cards and KO it, which is also good. I think this is a fine card. I think Jiro's also still a contender for a yellow-green successor, and maybe do a 2-2 split if you need to, depending on how much setup for your drop area you need. But I like this card too. I think it does what it needs, and it definitely, if you're playing this one, you want to do it because you're able to look top 5 for it. And that's just kind of the idea. And so if you, this is probably too late, but if you don't know what this leader does, when this card attacks, you take one card from your life, add it to your hand. You have to. Oh yeah, you may. But if you do, you get the card draw. And then also it's untap 2 energy, flip other side, auto when this card attacks, draw 1. This is not a once per turn, which is really good, and it doesn't have the errata correctly on here, but pretty much the errata. So the choose one of your opponent's battle cards to rest mode is still around, which is what a good effect. Even just now, just being able to rest something for free is super duper good. And then also activate once per turn, choose one card from your life, add to your hand, and you either choose this card itself or a Broly BR card in the battle area. In rest mode, switch to active mode. So it really just means that you get to activate these effects, which are really nice, but you have to take a life for it. You can also restand yourself, and then you get to draw a card again because it's not a once per turn draw, just like in the old days. That has not changed. And that's pretty much the idea for the deck. We also do have, I forgot to mention this, Encountering the Unknown. I really like this card for this leader, but if your leader card is a green Chile BR or a yellow Broly BR card, choose one. Choose up to one of your opponent's skillless battle cards and rest mode KO, and if you KO a card, you get to draw a card. So this is really nice, especially when you use conjunction with Vegito's Final Flash. You can make something skillless when they're not expecting to. Also get around a barrier, and then you can just pop it, and then you get a draw card. Your limit to 1, that's good. Or you can just choose up to one of your Broly BR cards in battle area and switch to active mode as well. So if you're down to 1 life, they're going to be like, oh, they can't switch anything to active mode. When you're boom, bam, you can do it. So I think that's good. And then everything else is pretty much just, I'd say generically good yellow stuff. Bergamo is really good because it's limited to 1. Cold Bloodlust is really good because it's limited to 1. So I really do like Release from Evil for this as well, because you can kind of, this is, they're free negate, but you can really make it so they can't, one, there's a lot of things with like triple attack and stuff that this can shut down, which is nice. But you can also do the same thing where you can make it skillless when they're not expecting it, and it gets around barrier, which is really nice. And then you can just pop it with your big 8 drop as well, or your 5 drop, or with your extra card, whatever you have. It has, you can pop it with any of these cards, which are super nice. That's pretty much it I want to talk about this list. We do have another, but in general, for looking at super or secret rares, there's some other cards. I need to take these out, but I thought, there's a lot of synergy with these Aandroidd stuff, and that's pretty much what I made this other deck for. And this one I'm feeling is a lot better. But for secret rares, I'd probably say that Kai is just great. You can probably just run Kai. Sometimes you need a floodgate, which is really nice. You can run the new Majin Buu if you want. You can't run the new Super 17 because you have to have all yellow energy, and this has some green in it, so you can't do that. Cell Xeno is always powerful too. It does have its new errata though. You have to have 5 or more energy, but that's fine. I mean, you can still successor it for free to get a big 40k, beat stick. But I think Kai's. You can also do some fun stuff with Broly Ultimate. You just have to have your big boy removed and go from there. But I think that's really all I want to talk about this. So I think this is a fine list. I think this is a good way to just like try the archetype in general. Power Super, like there's just like a lot of cool generic, like it's really flexible. It kind of reminds me of Mecha Frieza without being, I'd say, busted. You get a lot of interaction. You're a little limited to your energy a little bit, but the things you do are really great. And your opponent can try to play around one option, and you can go the other option as well. And since this is all new stuff, you can kind of catch your opponent off guard for some new card effects, which are really nice. And then I like this list more. I'll be honest. I think this is a stronger list. It does not run the Unison 1-drop. I don't like it as much. I've had a hard time with it. And more so it uses the Aandroidd, or I guess just like the whole Aandroidd package that happened in set 13. With this guy, Supreme Rivalry, we've got like this 1-drop, Aandroidd 16. When this card is played, look top 5 cards of your deck. Up to 1 yellow Aandroidd card are a Unison with cost of 2. So you can get your Aandroidd 13R. We also have this Vegeta, which is really good. Both of them kind of do the same thing, which is nice. And it's this and the Droste have both have these effects where choose up to one of your they tap one of your own cards, and then when these guys gets tapped, they get an effect for it. So this Aandroidd 16, you're able to get blocker once per turn, but also if you just play it, it gets blocker too. This Droste, just being able to hard cast it, being able to just negate someone's, make something skillless for free, or just playing 1 energy is really good, and you also get a draw, like this is just a generically really, really good card. So it just helps out what you're wanting. And like as you can see, like most of this stuff has like the idea of like resting your own stuff and gaining benefits for cards being skillless. And for example, this Aandroidd 13 Robotic Unity it has Rejuvenate, which is good, especially since we're taking our own life a lot with this Broly leader. So being able to get that extra life if you need it is very helpful. Activate main once per turn. Choose one of your yellow Aandroidd cards and switch to rest mode. Choose up to one of your opponent's skillless battle cards in rest mode and place it underneath this card. So that's very good. It can help you out by popping things for pretty much free and doing what you want. Especially like you can just hard cast this and go from there. Or if this got switched to rest mode by something else, you can't just use the activate main and then get the same thing. You're gonna do that, but there's a lot of things that you can. For example, like this, this can do a 4 or less, and then you can just use this effect to get rid of it, and then you can use this effect to use this to make something else skillless that this guy can pop. So like you can see where like the interaction can really come down, and there's just like a lot of really cool things you can do with this. And it's just, I mean, this is just an okay unison, and like obviously, right, you can use it with this Aandroidd 16, and then you have a blocker out, and then you have it so you can have block and attack, and then you can get into your combo step and do the things you need to do. I think all that's very good. And then we're running Vegeta, which is a good counter play, and also the blocker, which is cool. We awaken so much that we can awaken kind of early, which is nice. And I think this just has a lot of synergy and really good. And we're also running not only this Aandroidd 13, but the new one from Cross Spirit. This is just great for Successor in general. It's a rival green-yellow for 1 yellow, but you really just use it for 2 things. One, if your leader card is yellow or an Aandroidd card, use the combo cost of this card in your hand by 1, so it's just a free multicolor combo, which is awesome. And then also, if you have 3 or more Aandroidd cards in your drop area, negate this card's energy exhaust skill in all areas, which is also awesome. It can kind of be tricky to get there. I'm running Giro to help you, which also, I didn't know this, he's not an Aandroidd. Is that crazy? That's crazy. I swear he was an Aandroidd, but he's just a scientist. So don't make the same mistakes I do. You have to have 3 Androids, not including this guy. But turn 1, turn 2, you want to play these little weenie guys, and then they get popped, and then like maybe you can just do like a free combo with this guy to play one of your other Successor dudes. And I think that works out pretty well. You do need to charge 1 multicolor throughout the game just to make sure that you do get that yellow-green. And, I've been thinking like maybe you want to play one of the Helis and Sawar just because you can always do this. But, it's just easier. You just have to have a yellow and a green that you warp with it. But there we go. But we're running Forger right now. You could maybe do like a 3-1 or 2-2 split with Chilai if you want to. The targets for this are the Aandroidd 13 mission begins, which is also an Aandroidd, which you can also use an active main effect to pop it. So that's kind of nice. We also have Aandroidd 13. We already talked about this. We also have the Bardock the Eliminator. This card's really weird, but it can like have some niche play. Or worst case, you just use it to draw cards, so that's fine. It has an auto limit 1 if your leader card is a yellow or Bardock's crew, and you have choose one of your opponent's skillless battle cards at any cost of 4 or less in rest mode. At the end of the battle in which this card was used in a combo from your hand, your opponent may choose the KO the chosen card. If they don't, play this card from your drop area in rest mode. So more or less, you either get this guy out for free and you get a blocker next turn, or you get to I don't know, you just get him out and then you pop a dude, I guess. And it's really easy for this deck to make things skillless, which is nice. I'd rather if it just like make it skillless or play this card instead, but I think he's fine. He's not, if you don't have this card, because I don't know if he's expensive or rare right now because he's a promo, but if you don't have him, it's fine. And that's pretty much all I want to talk about, I think, on this list. I like this one more. I think this one has more potential of being good and just being really obnoxious, honestly. Just giving a lot of things, taking their skills away and being able to play some big Brolys that also do some board destruction. The only thing I'd say is that they have no protection, so you do have to be a little bit careful for that. But just the fact that you're able to arrival these out, and then you can, this can just pop something outright. As long as it doesn't have barrier, you can just arrival it, and then you activate battle and pop the thing. Like it's just pretty much making it very scary for your opponent to go all in, because you have just so many ways. Like Vegeta's Final Flash, you can take away their skills. You can use Encountering the Unknown to pop something. You can use one of these Brolys to pop something. You can use this Broly to pop something. Choose one battle card with any cost greater than or equal to your opponent's current energy and KO it, and then they just die, right? The card dies. So you're just making it really awkward for your opponent. You're making it, making them very scared to ever do some swinging in, and you're just building a board and getting a lot of value while popping their own board. I like it. I think this is a fun list, and I hope you guys do try this one too. I'd recommend this one for sure, and it just has a lot of cool synergies. It's been a lot of fun playing it. But that's going to be it for me. Let me know what you guys think about this list. Let me know what you guys want to see for some more Dragon Ball Super content. I know I haven't made a list in a while, but I have another list I'm working on, which may look really similar to this one, so I might space it out a bit, but I think there's some fun stuff to be played for sure. But that's going to be it for me. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope to catch you all next time.